Welcome
I'm
back.
back. Yeah. Thank you. We were in Chicago. I had a work thing on Thursday, and then the fam came with me. So Elliot did a daddy daughter day on Thursday while I was working, and then Friday, Saturday, we explored Chicago. If you're looking for a family friendly city, highly recommend. We did not rent a car, we did all public transportation. Um,
Wow.
and the Lincoln Park Zoo, I did not know it's free and it was amazing. They're like that's their mission is like wildlife for all. So that was amazing. And then they have a children's museum that we literally spent the whole day at. We like went in the morning, went back to the hotel for nap time, and then went back in the afternoon. Um, so it was just I felt like I was living my mom dreams of like New York City college Holly being able to live her dream
Yeah,
as a mom in Chicago for a few days. It was so fun. So thank you for allowing me to not
that's
have to worry about
cool.
Seth said what for a couple days.
Yeah. Seth said, "Get out of here." I don't know. That was probably a little bit too much New York. I was trying to like, what is
I
Chicago?
know.
Anyway, I don't know.
Oh, so funny. Okay, well, we're switching it up today because Seth did a blog today, which was really great, but really long and very heady, as I would say, because Seth is very passionate about climate change, which I really appreciate about him. So today's blog post is kind of about that, but we're gonna skip it because it's 3:24 Central Time, 4:24 Eastern Time, and my brain is just not in the like yeah,
Getting back to in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
But this weekend, you sent me a
I
text.
did. I sent you a text because I was cleaning out my email on, um, or maybe that was Friday. Or no, it was Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday. And side note, sorry, another parenting hack if you're traveling, call
Yeah.
ahead to the hotel and ask for them to put your room as close to the hotel restaurant as possible. So we were on the second
Oh,
floor above the restaurant. They had a patio, so my monitor reached that far. So I was sitting on the patio having a Bloody Mary while Iris was napping, monitor next to me, cleaning out my inbox, living the Saturday dream with this
that is
beautiful
amazing.
view of the Chicago River in front of me. It was incredible. Anyway,
Wow.
so I come across, as I'm doing that, I come across this email from Seth on Saturday that I sent to you because it was about, it's called The Questions Behind the Questions. And you're in a, oh,
Before.
sorry, The Questions Before the Questions. You're in
Yeah, it's
a career
important.
transition. I'm in a building a business, 6 months into building a business transition. And it was fire. So I thought we could talk about that one today.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. You want to start, and then whenever you drop off, I'll pick up. It's a little bit long,
Yeah,
but
let's
good.
do it. Okay. The questions before the questions. I'm applying to work at Disney. Do you know anyone who can give me a reference? My two partners and I are planning a new company. Can we ask you for feedback on our business plan before we go out and raise a seed round? We're moving to Centerville. Which neighborhood should we consider? Which famous college should I apply to? These are fine questions to ask, but they might be concealing the questions we need to ask first. Thanks to the hype bubble, plenty of would be entrepreneurs have decided that a real business needs VC funding. Some of the most fun you can have starting a business is hanging out with your partners, pre business, brainstorming ideas, and the natural next step seems to be running the project as a team, as partners. Applying to jobs at a famous company feels like a safe thing to do, and moving to a town your friends admire feels like a smart move.
Except maybe you shouldn't have partners. Maybe your business shouldn't be investor backed. Maybe you'd be happier in an apartment in a city or living overseas for a year. Perhaps you should consider a gap year or find a less famous but more effective university or spend the time and money to learn a trade instead. Before you start arranging the candles on the cake, you might pay to think about what flavor cake you're going to get, whether you're going to bake it yourself or whether there should be a cake or a surprise party at all. Once you fall in love with a future that has a cake in it, You've closed the door to all the other options. Too much choice can be paralyzing, but too much choice is also a rare moment of freedom, a moment where it might pay to pause for a moment before backing into an obvious next step, or into the obvious next steps. It turns out that just a few minutes spent reconsidering those obvious next steps can change everything for the better. Here's the actionable tactic. When presented with these moments of freedom, don't simply articulate one plan needing improvement. Instead, find the time to create three different plans, plans that don't overlap at all. Can you refine and improve each one enough that you'd be happy randomly choosing any one of them? Because by the time you've built out three independent plans, it's quite likely you'll have discovered the right path.
So when I sent that to you, Daniel, what like, and I know I only sent you an excerpt, so I don't know if you read the whole thing.
No, I clicked through and I read it.
What resonated with you?
Oh, well, I mean, it hit home in several ways, right? So I it's funny how it even mentioned three paths, right? Because we've had conversations where I'm like, well, here I think here's my paths. It's like find the job, find the job, and then pursue the side thing, or even just take the side things I've always talked about and just make it a thing. And um, yeah, so I'm verbally processing here for the first time on this, but I thought it was interesting since he said three. I like threes too, but yeah, I think I'd be happy choosing two of the three of those. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like interesting that he's yeah. I think I'm still pondering it because it is close to home, and I have kind of worked on what paths would make me the happiest. I think, and they're like on some kind of scale where there's happiness and there's risk terrifyingness, and it's like how much tolerance do I have
Mm-hmm.
like in myself, in the current family situation where we have little kids,
Mm-hmm.
um, all the things. But secondly, and then I'll throw it back at you for a minute, is the overthinking part. We've talked about being overthinkers in the past. Where does he say it here? Oh, too much choice. Too much choice can be paralyzing, but too much choice is also a rare moment of freedom. That was an interesting line for me because I haven't looked at too much choice as freedom because it does feel a bit like a trap. Because there have been often, not often, there have been several moments, milestones in life where having more than one choice has been like, yeah, I've gotten stuck because it's like not wanting to go down the wrong path with the fear that like if that path's a quote unquote wrong path,
Mm-hmm.
that there's no way to get back and choose the other path because that's the one I should have chosen in the first place. So just sit here at the fork in the road and just twiddle my thumbs long enough, and someone will come by and go, "Oh, that's the right path." It's like, yes, someone told me. And to bring Enneagram into it, I promise, I'll throw it back. At our church, not long ago, one of our speaking or preaching pastors or whatever teaching pastors got up and he started with this. He said, "I'm an Enneagram 9, so I've been waiting my whole life for someone to tell me who I am." And
Mm-hmm.
it felt like that moment in 300 where the guy kicks somebody off the cliff and like with a sandal to the chest. I just felt like he was like boom and just kicked me right. I was like, oh, that I feel so seen, and that hurts because I resonate with that.
Mm.
um anyway, so that's like a few things that kind of came up as I was reading this that I thought were really interesting
Yes.
and not super practical necessarily, but um,
Yeah. No, it's so
yeah.
good, Daniel. Yeah, I love it because I can't remember when this hit me, but it was, I don't remember if it was before or after I left Leader, which for those listening, that was my last like full time job I was at for 4 years. And I can't remember. But anyway, I launched the Ready Network in 2020 and then joined leader. They were a client, joined them full time, and even that, I mean, even having the courage and clarity to leave the job I was at for almost 9 years, launch the Ready Network was, I mean, waking up every night for like a year at 2 a.m., those times in our life where we're like, is this the right thing? What should I do? And then finally doing it. And then leader offers me this full-time job. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Where was this 6 months ago? You know? And then going through that rigmarole of 2 a.m. wake ups to try to decide if I should join them full time or not. And then, even though leaving leader wasn't my choice, feeling the discontent towards the end of my time there of feeling like it was coming to an end, but not sure how or when, and then having the 300 kick out the door. But anyways, what I like about this was I feel like I have been trying to bang my head against the wall for like 6 years around the Ready Network of like, what should it be? And what do I have to offer the world? And blah, 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 blah. And then I don't remember who it was that sparked in me, like, I'm asking the wrong question. It should be, what do I want my life to look like? And then what is a business
Yeah.
that is exciting to me that supports that? I think it was my therapist,
Wow.
actually, Brittany, who I've been with for like 10 years, who was really encouraging me to take a month off after my 4 years at leader and really spend that month just trying to dial in, how do I want to spend my days? What do I want that to look like? And it's really special to have not every day. I'm not saying every day looks like how I want it to, but
Sure.
6 months in, September 30th was 6 months of full time the Ready Network. And
Wow.
like even being able to be in Chicago for 2 days and not be stressed about work at all.
Wow.
I don't remember the last time that I've been able to have a quote unquote vacation, even though I fully agree now with the thing that like when you have kids, there's no vacation, it's just a trip.
Yeah, what was that? We heard that not too long ago. I
Yeah,
love.
which is
Yeah.
true. I mean, it was so fun and exhausting, but anyway, I just had this moment where I was like, this is it. This is like having gratitude for a partner who was willing to like take the trip with me, do a daddy daughter date for a full day on his own in an unknown city with public trans and all the things, that even is a gift and how I want my life to look. And then while I'm like living my dream, facilitating a workshop with leaders, and then that we could do Thursday and Friday, was just really, and me not having this like, there was one email that was lingering in the back of my head that I had not sent, that every day last week I was like, I gotta send that email, I gotta send that. So on Thursday, or I think it was on Friday during her nap time, I told Elliot, like, I gotta send one email, and then the other work that I did, like, he went to go to Chicago Music Exchange, which is his favorite store, and
Nice.
that was
Yes.
when he got to have that solo time while I put her down for a nap and drank my Bloody Mary and checked email, which was my dream. So anyway, I guess it's just a long way of saying, for someone who's been on the other side of it, of what you're in now, like, I'm so grateful I took the time to kind of carve out, like, I'm so tired of being a slave to other people's ridiculous goals and unreasonable standards. I want to be the, leader of my own time and of my own goals. And how do I build that? And then try to hold myself accountable to that. Because I've even taken clients in the last 6 months that didn't align with that, where they had unreasonable expectations, or they, whatever that might be. And then you learn and you're like, okay, well, I don't want to do that again. So it's a daily
Yeah.
learning, but that's my very long TED talk of your simple question.
No, it's fantastic, and congratulations on 6 months. I mean, like,
You.
I didn't. Yeah, it's crazy. It feels like it's probably one of those things. I don't know. Also, where it feels like it was 10 years ago, and it feels like yesterday all at the same time.
100%. Yeah, April 1st was like
Yeah.
my beginning of, which is funny because not only is that your son's birthday, but it's also April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day. Yeah. Also, speaking of my son, um, when it said before you start arranging the candles on the cake, I just think this is like too cute of a story to skip over. You know, Robin Hood, like the classic, like with the
Yeah.
foxes, like Disney's Robin Hood. At the very beginning of that, uh, the Little John the bear and Robin Hood the fox are running through the forest, and you know Robin Hood, Little John run through the forest, you know that one, and and they're having arrows that are being shot at them. And anyway, the first lines of the movie, Little John says, "Rob, you're taking too many chances," and then Robin Hood says something like, "Wow, what do you mean?" He's so cavalier and like suave, and then Little John says, "Look at your hat," and it looks up at his hat, and the green, you know, Robin Hood hat has an arrow through it, or two or three arrows through it, and he's like, "What?" You know, like, and Little John says, "Look at your hat. It's not a candle on a cake," and so the reason I bring that up, all this to say, because I was sitting at the breakfast table one day with Strider when he was like two and a half, and you're still like, he can talk, but like, what are you saying? And he, no kidding, we're just sitting there eating grapes or something, and he's like, "Rob, you're taking too many chances. Look at your hat. It's not a candle on a cake." Like clear as day. And
Oh
I was
my
like,
gosh.
"What just happened?" And it was the cutest thing. And I know that, you know, listeners aren't going to be able to get their last minute of their life back, but it was just so cute that every time the candle's on the cake, I was like, I could hear him. "Look at your hat. It's not a candle on a
That's
cake."
so cute. And also,
But in a way, it's about taking
I was about to
chances.
say, a great reminder for you, that cute little quote to remind you to like have the courage to take the risks and be able to arrange them how you want them to look, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. So let's go back because it's good to leave these pondering and stuff, but I love that he's like at least trying, even though it's very Seth. It's still, here's the actionable tactics. So let's
Yes.
see. When we're presented with these kind of moments of freedom, don't simply articulate one plan needing improvement. So maybe it's like, don't just jump straight into the one like obvious thing. And correct me,
Yeah.
I'm riffing here, right? Instead, find the time to create three different plans. So he's like, pick a number, three, manageable number, and ideally plans that don't overlap too much. So like the example I gave, I actually have purposeful overlap, kind of. You
Yes.
know, it's kind of like it's really two choices that overlap in the middle. And but anyway, can you refine and improve each one enough that you'd be happy randomly choosing any one of them? So
Mhm.
I want to do, or I could see myself doing marketing for a medical group. I could see myself leading product for a technology company. I could see, and like have three that are completely separate.
Mhm.
And then by the time you sort of develop those out, play them out, any of those working out, you'd be happy in.
Oh,
Um,
wait, I hold on a second. I read it differently than that. So
no, I think I took it a different way. But go ahead.
I read it as three different plans, tweak and
Uh-huh.
refine them. And as you're tweaking and refining them, you'll realize that really one is the one that you wake up every day thinking about.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think as I was sussing that out, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. But I think you're right because by the time you build out three independent plans, it's quite likely you'll discover the right path, or maybe more accurately, but said a different way, you'll discover the ones that don't bring you
Yeah,
life.
correct. So, like, even more extreme example of what you gave would be like, go, you know, like in your context, step one would be go find another full time job. Step two would be take a gap year, or like, or even like don't work for 6 months, right? Like, what would that look like? What would you and Lauren have to change in order for you guys to survive on one, and not even survive, but like thrive on one income, whatever? Like, to go through the exercise of like,
Yeah.
what would that look like? And then the third one could be like, go start your own business, right? So, like, three very different things. And then as you're like,
Mm-hmm.
so like to take the extreme example of like not working for 6 months, okay, what would we need to change? Well, we'd have to do this and this and this and this and this. And as you're doing that, if you find yourself being like, I'm super stressed, that causes me a lot of anxiety, that feels impossible, then that's probably not the right one. If you're like, oh my gosh, actually, surprisingly, we could do this and simplifying our life sounds amazing. And I could
Yeah.
go do DoorDash or Uber and supplement a little bit and spend the rest of my time with my kids or like whatever, right? To some people,
Yeah.
that would be like my dream
Yeah. Yeah.
or, whatever. So like kind of working through those very three different plans kind of leads you to actually what does sound exciting or not exciting to you.
Yeah. Well done. Yep.
And pitch here. A great framework you can use to help you build these plans is the Ready framework, which I created for my company, the Ready Network. And we actually have an upcoming certification November 6th through the 7th. I have a minimum of 4 people. I've got 3 signed up. So I'm looking for at least one more for November 6th or 7th. And for that one, because that'll be the last one we do in 2025, I'm doing it at 50% off. So it's, anyways, I'm getting detailed, but you can just go to thereadynetwork.com,
Great.
click on certification, and you'll be certified in facilitating the framework, but really it's for you to work through. Like Daniel, you used it for yourself. When you went through the certification,
Yeah.
you were kind of using it in this career transition. And it will help you if you're like, I don't even know where to start in building a plan. That'd be a great fit for you. We'd love to.
TheReadyNetwork.com.
Yeah.
We'll put that in the show notes so
Woo.
that it's even that much easier to get to.
Yes.
So,
All right. Well, this is a good convo today. I'm glad to be back, brother. Seth said, what?
yeah, good to have you back. That's right. And if for no other reason, go back if you haven't listened to those guest appearances. Again, thanks Jay and Kyle for filling in. I called Jay. I told him he's your
Oh,
understudy.
perfect. Yep.
Um, yeah, and I did officially initiate both of them
Nice.
into the tribe. So and they both did a terrific job.
That's awesome. I love it. All right. Well, we'd love to hear your thoughts on the questions behind the questions over at sethsaidwhat.com. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, Holly.